Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be using and reviewing the Tan Beauty This Is All I Need eyeshadow palette. This brand was started by an Indian makeup artist. You should totally check out her page. She's very talented and she posts a lot of her work on Instagram as well. This is what the palette looks like. And I love the colors. I started seeing this palette quite a lot around the end of last year on Instagram, and I loved the color selection. I loved how the palette was laid out. All the work that I saw done with this palette, I was really intrigued to try it myself after looking at those images. So I bought it. I have played with it a little bit, so I kind of know what it works like, the performance of the eyeshadows, the pigmentation and stuff. But I'm going to be talking more about it as I use it. So for today's look, I'm going to be doing a classic black smoky eye. This is the black that I'll be putting on my lid, and use some of like these browns to blend the stuff out. And I'll see if I end up using any of the shimmers in any way. I kind of want to keep the entire look matte. Just apart from the highlight on my cheeks. So let's see what happens. I have just filled in my brows right now. There's nothing else on my face. I'm just gonna start with priming my lids, which I do with my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This is usually what I use. So I just have like a synthetic blending brush here. I'm gonna pick up some of the concealer and start putting it on my eyelid. Alright, now that my lids are primed, just across my crease, I'm gonna be putting like a translucent powder to set the concealer there. I'm not putting it all over my lid because I still want the lid area to remain kind of tacky, so that when I go on to put the black on my lid, it sticks and it doesn't like skip or bunch up. So anytime I do a black smoky eye, I always like to start with like a smudgeable pencil to line my waterlines and then my lash lines, blend that out, and then I build on it with eyeshadows. But this time I'm actually going to be starting with lining just my waterlines and then starting with the kohl eyeshadow in the palette. This apparently is like a cream to powder, sort of like a hybrid formula. And I have used it kind of, and I definitely agree with that statement. So let's start. This is a Chambord pencil. I'm just gonna put it on my waterlines. Alright, so I'm starting with like a flat brush. It's synthetic and quite densely packed, so this is really good to pack on product. I've changed my mind. I'm gonna start with blending some of the lighter browns in my crease first, and then we'll get to the black. So I'm picking up the eyeshadow called Nude. This is like a shadow that kind of has like a pink undertone, and it's like sort of like my skin tone, but since the eyeshadow that I used, sorry, the concealer that I used to prime my eyes was a little lighter, this is showing up. And I'm not putting it like precisely by any means. I just want to get this all over my crease area. So this is basically what the black is gonna blend into before my like just skin starts to appear. I was using the PAC 113. This is a very big synthetic blending brush. I'm gonna switch to a slightly smaller one now. This is the E006 from the brand La Cara. It's just slightly smaller. If you have anything similar that works, you don't need to buy like another brush. Then I'm picking up the shade called Workaholic, which is like a mid-tone brown here. And I don't really see a lot of like cool or warm tones specifically. This appears to be a neutral, and I'm just putting it all across my crease once again. The pigmentation seems quite nice so far, and these definitely are building quite nicely as well. The color that you see in the pan can definitely stay the same on your eyelid as well, but if you want to build it, you can definitely take more and keep putting it in the same areas, and it does start to deepen a little bit. Yeah, so now that I've got like a slight guideline of where I want my black shadow to end, I think I'm going to start putting the black on now, for which again I'm taking that brush. If you have anything similar, that works. Even if you have something like this, anything that looks like a flat shader will work. Even this works. So I've just picked up some. Let's see what it looks like. Pigmentation is quite insane. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. This time I'm gonna pick it up on the linear part of the brush, like the tip. I picked it up on the side because I had to press down pigment. Now I'm gonna push it into my lashes because I can see a little bit of skin, and I don't want to be able to see skin. I want it to be all black. Yeah, that's covered it up nicely. Now I'm just gonna start very lightly feathering it into the blending that I've done so far. With any sort of makeup application, it's not all about the products and the tools, it's also about how much pressure you're putting while picking a product and also depositing it. So here now, because I want slightly less pigmentation of the product, I'm going to put very less pressure. So I've been able to sort of smudge the edge of that with this brush. Now I'm gonna pick up other blending brushes and use the shade called Power here. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's what I've been calling it, at least all these days. Alright, I'll try this one. This is the ProArt PE23. It's a very small tapered blending brush, and I'm picking up the product on the very tip because I need the tip for blending. I'm going to start at the outer corner. Again, now that I've gotten rid of like the harsh edges here, I want to feather out the product, and again for that I'm gonna switch to a very light pressure on the brush, So when you want to put really light pressure, you have to hold the brush from not close to the ferrule, which is the metal part here. So chances are while blending you might take off a lot of the product that's actually on the lid. I can see a little bit of it disappearing from this area. I am going to touch it up after I'm done blending this. Now we can go back to this brush and then pat the black on top again. And chances are while you're doing it, you might develop a harsh edge again of the shadow that you choose to put on your lid. So you might have to do the blending thing again with the same brush. So for that, what I do is, instead of using the brush like that, like I'm holding it flat against my lid, you have to blend like these sort of small edges. I switch to the tip, and because this is not like a completely flat brush, I can kind of use the tip to do this and just go around the edge. And I still see some harsh edges, but I'm gonna use the other brushes that I have to blend the stuff out, because if I keep using this, I might keep spreading the black a little too high. I'm gonna go back to the brush that had the chocolate brown on. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm gonna catch up the other eye till this point, and I'm gonna do the same exact steps, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. All right, so I've done both my eyes. There were a few visible specks of fallout from the black eyeshadow. Apart from the few visible specks that I mentioned, I don't see a lot of fallout, but just to make sure, I'm gonna take a Q-tip, and I just have some moisturizer here. I'm gonna get the moisturizer all up in the Q-tip, and I'm just gonna run it all across the under eye area. Yeah, so the Q-tip appears to be very slightly like dirty, so to speak, which means that the eyeshadows might have fallen down. Now this side has even lesser than what I got on this side. So my conclusion in terms of fallout for this palette is that there is not a lot. It's actually impressive how less fallout you get. I'm just gonna take my clean fingers and start taking away the excess moisturizer, because we don't want anything in excess here. It's just gonna start creasing, and that's not gonna be pretty for anyone. Now I actually would like to get my base done before I start doing the lower lash line. Now we're ready to do the lower lash line. So I've already got the liner from before in my waterlines. I'm gonna start by taking that brush again, the one that I used to pat on the black. And this time I'm actually gonna take the tip and pick up the product on the very tip. And I'm not taking up a lot of product, and start to smudge it very close to the lash line. Now again, this is a very black shadow, so I still want to be able to blend it out. So if I put on too much product in the beginning, when I start to blend it out, it's just gonna travel further and further down, and that's not gonna look pretty, not on me at least. If you like that look, by all means go ahead. It's just better strategically to start with less product. Now I'm gonna take like a pencil brush. Any pencil brush will do. I'm just taking the one from La Cara because this is a little fluffier than the other kind that I have, pencil brushes I mean. And I'm actually going to start with the shade Workaholic. It's the lighter one in the brown family in this palette. I don't want to take Power because I think I've already got a lot of black on, so if I take another deep eyeshadow, it's just gonna do the same thing again. So I want to start with the lighter one and see where we are. If we need to, then we can add the darker one. I'm just gonna have to pick this up. And while blending, I'm just gonna make sure that I flick this out and join this shape that I've created while doing my upper lash line. Okay, so I think I have my thoughts ready for the review. I definitely love this palette. It's gonna be one of my most used palettes for sure. I have Morphe ones that I don't use as much as I have been using this one lately. I really like how it performs. I love the shades. I love how the palette's laid out. If you look at it, every like line of eyeshadows you can use in conjunction with each other, but if you divide it here, these are all like neutrals and like sort of shades that you can use almost daily, and this is where your sort of pops of color appear. So I definitely feel like there's like a strategic placement of the shadows here, and you can create so many looks with this. And now I'm just gonna put on my highlight and lipstick and then complete the look and then sign off. My most used highlight recently has been the Nykaa Contour and Conquer palette. This one. My highlight actually broke. I don't know if it was when I actually received the product when I ordered it, or it was much later, but it did break in sort of like the first few months that I owned it. So I fixed it with the isopropyl alcohol, and the way I pressed it, because how the powder products are pressed also sort of can decide what the pigmentation will be like. I pressed it very lightly, and my god, it's like it looks glossy on the skin almost. Like I do not see any sort of specks of shimmer or glitter anymore. It's beautiful. I'm definitely gonna be overlining my lips with the K Beauty Matte Action lip liner in the shade Fame. I like this formula a lot. It's sort of perfect for me to overline with. And the lipstick that I'm using is the MAC Whirl. I have the mini. And for finishing touches, I will put on the Benefit Bad Girl Bang Mascara. I always like to curl my lashes before putting on mascara. Usually I would only do this if I'm not gonna wear falsies, because the curve in the eyelashes sort of makes it hard to put on falsies later. But I'm not wearing any today, so I'm just gonna curl and put on this glorious mascara. I have the washable variant. I actually do not know if this comes in a waterproof formula, but even just this one, it flakes after a few hours ever so slightly, and that's the only complaint I have about it. It lengthens the lashes like crazy. If you are comfortable with putting on mascara, you can twist the wand at the root and that will deposit a lot of product at the root, which is what causes the volumizing action. So I wouldn't just call this a lengthening mascara. It definitely adds volume as well, and it looks fabulous. Alright, you guys, my hair again dirty. No surprises there, but that's just how I live my life. I hate washing my hair too often. I don't know what to do. This is what you get. This is the finished look. I'm feeling kind of crazy these days, and I wear blush sometimes, which is insanity because I never wear blush. I'm just gonna get one. So might not be the perfect choice for this look, but let's just see what happens. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in the shade Mellow Wine. If there's any other looks that you want me to do with this palette, please let me know, because I will definitely be interested in doing that. I love the color selection, so anything you guys might want to see, I'll do it. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!